Welcome, folks. Wednesday night. Time to get on the stream grind here and work on some networking. Hope you had a good day. It's midweek, a little past midweek, so it's always good. And we're going to talk some NAT tonight. I did quite a bit of labbing today. Well, I say today, last night, and then this morning, and during lunch, and then prior to the stream. Actually, I've gotten several hours of labbing in, and my lab has been growing. My router security and infrastructure services lab has been getting bigger. I posted on that on Instagram today, and it's been fun. It's been a lot of fun. So that's what we're working on. We got 33 days, just a little over a month to go, and in reality, with some holiday travel coming up in December, it's probably more like a month before, of actual study days. Still rocking the Apple OS X Mojave wallpapers. Looking pretty cool. Still not tired of those yet. Target dates. We are on, again, the target is for this Saturday, by the end of the day Saturday, to complete the Network Lessons Unit 6, which is the infrastructure services. So let me just pull that up and show you where I'm at on that. By the way, I may have some cool new music coming to the stream, I hope. I pinged the maker, Mark Milo. How would you rate your readiness towards the exam itself at this point of your journey? What I've come to find out is that I don't know, based on my past experiences, that you can ever be fully ready for the written exam. It's at a difficulty level beyond, what I've seen before. And I don't know. I don't know when you could call yourself, I guess, just completely ready. I guess I could go over these technologies over and over and over and over again and feel better about them. But even then, even if I worked full time just studying, I don't know that I would ever feel 100%. Now I might feel 90%. Right now I probably feel 60 or to 70%. So fair enough. I always thought taking an exam and learning the technologies is different. Yeah, true. You have to learn the technologies, and then you have to learn the exam strategy. Every exam has a different strategy, right? And fundamental knowledge will play a big part, but yes, you have to definitely have an exam strategy. Very good point, Mark Milo. Good to see you. Hope you're having a good day or evening. But yeah, we're trying to get through this. Let me show you where I am at right now. I think I already have network lessons up. I do. Yes, I just finished. Sure do. Thank you. Oh, you're very welcome, man. Very welcome. So I just finished IPv4 NAT translation, and I did port forwarding policy. I got that figured out. I was having a few issues with the lab there. Got that figured. It turns out that one of the main problems I was having was because I had one interface configured for IPNAT outside, and it should have been IPNAT inside. That was my problem with NAT last night. So once I figured out that out, I kept going, and today I finished NAT virtual interface, troubleshooting NAT PAT, and NAT application level gateway. Now, I just got to this section about 6 p.m. Eastern time, about an hour ago. Broke to get something to eat, so this is what I'll be covering. There are 2 lessons here under IPv6 NAT, and that is NAT64 static and NPTV6. I was kind of hoping there would be maybe 1 or 2 lessons here, but that's fine. So I aim to finish this tonight, which means Thursday I'll be hitting IPSLA, NetFlow, and EEM, performance routing. Yeah, looking at it now, I should be able to get all that done by the end of the day Saturday, or Saturday night. I think we're on track here. Based on the rate we've been going through these network services, we're looking pretty good. So let's see, is there anything else I want to talk about before we fire up this lab here? Yeah, so Sunday I will start reading the Evolving Technologies Guide, and I don't know if the guide has any labs in it or not. If it does, as a matter of fact, let me take a look at that. Let's see, I have a link. AJS networking. Oh, someone did a review. This is, yeah, Anthony Segura. After clicking, I'm just going to review this briefly here. So he was hoping to get a print copy, yeah. Oh, he's saying it's really good, yeah. Read the bullet. The book contains, okay, the good. Haven't taken many. Some really fun and interesting hands-on work. Awesome. Good. So we'll be labbing too. Because generally when I'm just reading, I'll still do a vlog every day. But I won't generally spend any time on the stream labbing, but it looks like we might be. Book is clear, not a copy paste. Good. The length feels spot on. Could you write the same text and have Stephen in? Oh, it's not in the order of topics. That's okay. And no printed copy. Yeah, I heard some complaints about that. Well, I am glad to hear that. So it looks like, we will be doing some, and I'm going to go ahead and add this. Thank you for the link, Mark Milo. I'm going to add this to the links of the day in case, any of us want to come back to this. And, I like Anthony Segura's reviews. I follow him on Twitter, and review of new yeah, thank you for that. Appreciate that. So yeah, we'll be doing some labbing. Good. And then yeah, we'll have, a little over 2 weeks, about 3 weeks for just flat out review. So that's going well. I like his teaching style, so I keep an eye on his posts. Yes, I do too, and I like, I've watched some of his videos. A lot of them are geared towards CCNP, but in general, he has good. Like if you're wanting to learn something new about cloud, or he tends to cover a broad range of topics in a very easy, understandable way. So yeah, I like that. All right, so we'll get on here with a lab, at least one we'll do on stream, at least this NAT64. I think he's working on a CCIE course for CBT nuggets, but we need to research that more to confirm. Yeah, so at my last job, I had access to CBT nuggets. On this job, I don't, but I have access to what's it called? Joe Astorino had some courses on there. It did not have the full CCIE course, but I'm glad to see. I hope they do one for CBT nuggets. Sounds like they're doing one for CCIE route switch, I would imagine. But I know that before, I did actually get a lot of CCNP material from CBT nuggets. And it was Anthony Segura and one other instructor. Can't remember his name. Very enthusiastic instructor. That was the bulk of him, and Chris Bryant were the bulk of the material I used to pass the CCNP. So yeah, let's pull up the lab. I've already got the lab running. So let me close some windows here. Keith, yeah, Jeremy Ciara. Hey, Asadics. Yeah, Jeremy, as a matter of fact, I liked his pace. So what I would do is for the CCNP, I would download the video file, because with CBT nuggets would allow you to download the audio files too. I burned them to CD because just had a CD player in my truck, and I was traveling more then for work, doing consulting. So I would listen to, I'd spend time driving and listening to the course as well as Chris Bryant too. I burned a lot of stuff of his courses to CD. That helped. It really did. All right, so this is our lab, NAT64. Again, this is from networklessons.com. This is not my lab, folks. If you want to see the full lab material, you can see part of these on the website without a membership, or you can get a trial membership for like $1 for a week, and you can get full access to these as well as videos, configuration files, Wireshark captures, the whole works, right? But yeah, let's pull up the lab environment. And this thing is growing. Yeah, after I booted this thing up this morning, it was working much better than it was last night. I don't know what was going on last night. It was having a few issues. And that may happen again today. Today it's been working great, running this from the Pro version locally. Because I've only been running like 3 or 4 routers at a time. When I'm done with them, I'll shut them down. And I've just been trying to save up like my Azure allocations because I'll be using those when I travel. So as you can see today, well, this is PolicyNat, and then I got a new lab here, application layer gateway, and I did a lab here with DNS where NAT will, by default, essentially a Cisco router will do ALG for DNS, and it will update the payload, the application payload. So I did that. Trying to think what else did I have here. Oh, I also did a NAT virtual interface lab, and that worked out pretty well. So we are up to about 49 devices in this lab, and so far so good. I'm going to create a new lab here now or not create a new lab, but I'm going to add a new section for this IPv or NAT64 static configuration. So let's add some routers. We're going to add 3 routers, it looks like, for this. Yeah, we're getting it is getting to the point where it is getting to be a little slow when you first when you have to redraw the topology. I'm trying to see where I should put this. I like that we've got all of our NAT labs over here. And we don't have a lot of room here. We've got a little bit of room. Let me zoom out again. I put this as kind of a placeholder, makes it easier to scroll. Let's see. Let's put it right here. Well, we're going to do a couple of NAT labs. IPv6. Yeah, let's put it up here. So we're going to add 3 routers. It's probably, it usually dumps them over here somewhere. And it's going to be pretty simple. So we're going to have one router running IPv4, the other router running IPv6, and we're going to have a router in the middle doing NAT64. Looks like we'll be doing a static NAT as well. Yeah, lab doesn't look too involved. Okay, router number, well, we're up to 52 here. It doesn't select well when you have it zoomed out. Okay, so we're going to have, let's see, this is going to be IPv4. This will be our NAT router, and this will be our IPv6. See if we can't get these a little closer here. Okay, and then we will add, let's see if I can line these up. It's probably going to throw them like on the other side of the screen, but I'm stubborn. Nope, that's good. Okay, we're going to add a custom shape, a little square. Same color. Not a big deal. It's just, let's do that. I should be doing the boxes last. And we're going to put over here is going to be our IPv4 segment. And let's see, what's our last space used? 172.31.255.160. So we'll go here. Since we're using NAT, hey man, just to say I learned a lot on how to study with you, strategy to organize the learning process. Happy to help out with that, man. Happy to share. That's one reason started this stream, is just to, to share and to give ideas how to do things or how not to do things, depending. You could learn a lot either way. So yeah, glad to help out. Glad to help out. We're going to make this a 29 also, just in case. I've learned with the NAT labs, like sometimes, I've been using /31s, I've been using /30s, but when we're natting, sometimes we need additional NAT IPs. So I've been doing /29s to give up to 8 IPs. And then let's do we got an IPv6 segment here. And this is going to be, what was our last IP6 segment? I think it was 3, where was it? 3FF, E, and F. Yeah, so we'll go 3FFD. Oh, you know what I want to do is, just to have fun with it, I created this in the GitHub. I created this like fun words you can form using IPv6. Let's do one of those. I forgot all about that. Where did I put that? RC Hall of Fame, acronyms, Agile, EVG Connect. Well, did I put it in addressing notes or? IP transition mechanisms, no. Well, let me check one other place here. I have IPv6, links, I capture filters. Oh, I'll bet that I put that in a regular folder. It's amazing how many words you can actually spell using hexadecimal. Yeah, I may have just put it in my regular, let's see, hex. IPv6. That's okay. Can't find it. We'll keep moving on. But just for example, like you could do 3 bad, bad bed A /64. Let's do that. But yeah, there's some sites out there where you can, let's see, form words using letters. Yeah, there's a bunch, you know, people use them for like Scrabble. Yeah, word generators. And you do, I think it was a site, A, B, C, D, E, F. Decaf, faced, cafe. There we go. Def, fade, fab. Aced. Let's do aced. 3 fab. Aced. Okay. Yeah, have a little fun with it. So these will be our segments. And now we can pop this here, and we're going to use this heading. And this is going to be called NAT64. Okay, just simple link these up. Okay, he's playing this little arrow is playing hard to get. There we go. Jeez. All right. Jazz 0, yes. And then the other is going to be we'll do 0, 1. Yeah, we might be. I'm trying to get to the end of infrastructure services because this might be the last. See how long this takes to draw? So this will probably be our last. IPv6 will be the last things we do on this, and then we'll just start another lab. When I start working on the other sections. Oh, that's what's interfering. Get out of the way. Okay, Jazz 01, Jazz 01. And configuration, we just configure our IPs. Then we turn on the NAT router, we turn on IPv6 unicast routing. And it says it requires a route on the right-hand router, the IPv6 router. I'm not sure why that is, but I'll bet it has to do with the NAT order of operations. All right, why is it acting weird on me? Come on, work with me here. Okay, so this will be our NAT64. And let's actually move. Not you. No. Did not want to grab you. This is not like Visio, folks. This UI can use some work for sure. It's a little smaller. And we'll probably connect this guy. I like for the labs to always be interconnected, right? So I'll probably connect him over here. And we won't bring the interface up just yet. It'll just be connected there. And that should be the last edit. And then what we're going to do is we'll go ahead and load VS Code. And on one router, we're going to have see IP address. .31.25. What would we say? 152. So it'll be 153. See, it does this sometimes when it starts to get a little weird. It's just whenever you folks are watching. I don't know why. Whenever y'all start watching, it gets shy, I guess. You know, it's like a little kid that can do amazing things. And you ask him to do it in front of a crowd, and he gets all shy on you. All right, what we'll do here is let's just close the lab. Reopen. That will usually fix that interface issue. And then while we're doing that, we'll continue. So on this route, we're going to do interface jazz 0, 0, no shut. And oh, interesting. Yeah, I've never configured this before. So I'm gonna enjoy this. Okay, that's good. So let's boot these guys up. I'm gonna also lock the lab so I don't accidentally shift something around unintentionally. Yeah, this is gonna be good. So interface, let's see, jazz 0, 0. Yeah, that's on router 50. Then we're gonna have interface jazz 0, 0 on the other IP address 192.31.5.154. No shut. And then interface jazz 0, 1. You're gonna have IPv6 address 3FAB AST A 51. No shut. Exit IPv6 unicast routing. Let's go ahead and open up the consoles. I've been, now that I've figured out how to make these separate, I'm actually liking this more. Like popping these out. So I'm gonna, and now I know you can like drag that, if you drag the tab and drag it next to another tab, it will, I know it sounds like really simple, but the struggle was real for me for some reason to figure out that, oh, that's blank. Oh boy, I hope it's not gonna act up. That's okay. Let's get these guys, let's see here. Okay, we'll just create a new, apparently we're having, the screen struggles are real, folks. If you watch my stream, you know this. It's tough. I'm so used to having, like I work with multiple screens, but you know, I try to keep everything available so people can see it on stream. And it presents its challenges for sure. It's good though. The screen struggle is good because you get that in the real lab. You only get 2 in the real lab, so might as well struggle now. Okay, so those are starting up. We're gonna move this like down here. And just make this, no, no, no. And what we're going to do here is once those boot up, we'll configure those on the other router, interface jazz 0, 1, IPv6 address, 3FAB, AST, A, : 52/64. Oh, I think we have to do, Okay, so it says we have to do a route over here on router 53. So we have to say IPv6. Well, let's do exit IPv6 route, a static route. Yeah, for our default. So that will be 3FAB AST A51. And then what we want to do is just make sure that router 50 can reach both routers, right? Actually, this will be, let's see, configure terminal hostname R52. Hostname R50. Is that right? No, 50 goes over here. 50, 51, and 52. Yeah, makes sense. This will be 50, this will be 51, and this will be 52. Okay, so let's just paste this in. And paste this in. And paste this in. Okay, we'll go to router 2, just make sure we have reachability here. Ping was to 31.5.153. And you can. Ping 3FAB AST A52. Do I have the right 51 and 52? That's right. Did I do a no shut? I did not. Not sure if I did that over here either. Okay, yeah, now we should be able to ping. And we can. Okay. So that is done. We'll just close that out. We don't need that anymore. And we'll close that out. And now we're going to get to the NAT stuff. So we need to turn this on, the interfaces. So y'all can't see that either. I should know better. My head covers that up. A big shiny bald head. All right. So on router 51, we do NAT, let's see, how does it work? Yeah, NAT64 enable. And interface jet 01, NAT64 enable. And it creates a virtual interface, right? We still need some rules though. So we need to, and my guess was correct. So we're going to create a virtual IP here. All right, what did I grab? All right, I'm clicking in one place, single click, and it's, oh, I'm locked. Duh, that's on me. There we go. So we need to, I already have some text like this down here to represent that. So we're going to say here that we're going to create a NAT of, we're probably going to do it on both sides, I would imagine. And when you do that, Eve, I cannot see the text when you hover like that. All right, let's see, 153 is in use, 54. So this would be 155 is our first available VIP. All right, so NAT64, we already know there's a prefix already designated for this purpose, right? So the IANA has allocated, and generally, right, it is, okay, I didn't want to duplicate you. I don't know. Like, no idea how that happened. Anyway. Sometimes you just click something in the software and you just guess what might happen, and sometimes it happens. So 64 FF9B/96. That is the prefix that has been designated for NAT64. But it says we can use something else if we want. And it's saying we should try a different prefix. So let me delete this, and maybe it'll give me what I want this time. Let's cross our fingers. I'll drag it away to make sure, then drag it back. All right, so we can use a prefix like 3001. And that can be our NAT, IPv6 NAT prefix. See how my cursor is way down here, but it wants to grab that all the way up there. There's no text down here. Yep, you folks we need some work on that. Let's configure the actual translation rule. Okay, let's do that. So this will be obviously on router 51. And we're going to say NAT64. We have some options here. We can just say prefix, or we can do Oh, I'm at the interface level. That's why NAT64. Yeah, look at all these options. NAT6 create flow entries. NAT64 map E, map T. My voice, man, it got cold, y'all, last night here in Florida. We might get down to 30 degrees tonight, which in Florida is just the end of the world. So, anyway, I'm drinking I don't know if you recognize this. This was a gift for me recently. Don't be jealous. This is my BB9E. So, anyway, I love this guy. So what we're going to do in this case is we're going to say v6, v4. And it's going to be static. And it's going to be 3001. Oh, sorry. Okay, so this means we're not defining the prefix here yet. In this NAT rule, we're saying this is the IPv6 address that's going to be NATed. This is the IPv4 address that's going to be NATed. And in this case, we are doing, 1 second here. I'm just verifying with my drawing. It's totally new for me, so I need to make sure I get this right. And this is going to be, oh, I missed something. I missed the command. So before that, we do have to define our prefix. So NAT64 prefix stateful and 3001.96. This is stateful, right? Because this is not dynamic. It is 1-to-1. This is a static translation. So NAT64, v6, v4, static. And then we're going to do our IPv6 address, which is here on this end. So 3FAB, AST, A52. And then we're going to use our virtual IP to designate the NAT address. So this will be 192.31.205.155. So we're telling the router, whenever we receive traffic on this IP, that should be NATed to this IPv6 address, right? All right, so let's do some verification here. Over here, we're going to do debug IP ICMP. And over here, debug IPv6 ICMP. And let's try it. So over here, we will ping 172.31.255.155. Let's do another one. There we go. All right, check this out. Received echo request. Oh yeah, so IPv6 uses a lot of ICMP, right? For neighbor discovery, etc. So that's what some of this traffic is. But this is an echo request, and this is an echo reply. And notice what it did here. So our destination, right, is 3001 AC1F FF99. Now we know what this is, right? This is our IPv4 address in hexadecimal. So let's see if I can do this in hexadecimal here. Let's do VS Code. So AC1FFF99. I know what this one is. So AC is 1A is 160 plus C is 12, right? 170 A, B, C, yeah, 172. 1F, so that's 16 plus 15 is 31. FF we know is 255. And 99 is 54 plus 9 is 63. Is that right? No, 9 times 16 is 4. No, that's not right. 16 was 9. 150, 9654. Carry the 5. 145 plus 9 is 154, right? Okay, so that is the interesting. Yeah, what I find interesting in it here is we did not. So when it uses this prefix, it pops a so it takes the IPv4 address here, 152.53.54, the real address, not the VIP. Unless I added that wrong. I did, didn't I? No, that's right. And then it pops a prefix on front, and that becomes your source address. And this should work in both directions, right? 153. Oh, is that right? Man, good thing we get the calculator in the lab. At least the practical lab. So 16 times 9. That's where I went wrong. Yeah. 16 times 9, 144 plus 9. Yep. So it is using the 153. Yeah, that's this. This is the source. Okay. That makes more sense. Thank you, Dude, for him. Good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well today. Down to 16 days, right? I think. So, yeah, I just need more practice with my hexadecimal. I may work on that during this third week of review. Okay, good stuff. All right, so this should work the other way, right? So I should be able to ping 3001. And what we want to do is ping this address, right? We want to ping this remote address. But this will be natted, right? C0, let's see. I'm looking at my example here. I'm using completely different, IPs than what is being used in the Network Lessons lab. So it makes it challenging sometimes. COA8, C01. Yeah. So same address. So 3001. That's why the debug is helpful, because it's basically going to give you. There are other ways to tell the router to calculate this, like to kind of as a shortcut, but yep, it pings. And then notice on the other side, yeah, his source is 155, which is this address. So this part is static, right? This is dynamic, but this part is static, our static NAT here. Well, it's still basically, this does become sort of a one-to-one NAT, doesn't it? Because this destination is always, because our statement, we're mapping a single address to this prefix, a single IPv4 address to this prefix. And yes, that is a prefix. A prefix has the possibility of being a dynamic range, but in this case, it's a static NAT for a single VIP. So it's always going to be, 155 and this address here, right? That come into play. In fact, we've got this command, right? Show NAT64 mappings. Actually, show NAT64. Interesting. The lesson says mappings, but I'm assuming this means translations. Okay, protocol, original IPv4, translated IPv4. Wait, let's. Seems like I have plenty of room. Original IPv4. Oh, this is 6 to 4. Original IPv4 is blank. Translated IPv4 is blank. Translated IPv6. Original IPv6. A state 52. Okay. So, see, it's one-to-one essentially. Show NAT64 prefix. Interesting. Oh, look at this. So notice it uses the default here. Like, this is what it would ordinarily use if you did not specify a prefix. It would use this. This is the IANA assigned prefix. I like it that it's 64. We used our own prefix, so Obviously, it's going to prefer that one, but if we took this away, we would still have this one to use. Show NAT64. At this point, I'm just playing with what the outputs of these commands are. Number of packets translated by stateful, NAT64. Global statistics for this prefix. Packets translated 1-to-1. Oh yeah, that's the next thing the lesson wanted me to. And then translations, yeah, show NAT64. So pretty simple. It's interesting. So the lesson does say that this can be complex. I mean, the lab exercise we did was pretty simple. And all the configuration was already spelled out for me, right? Made it easy for me. But I can see how, you know, troubleshooting this, NAT itself is hard enough alone to troubleshoot. It can be difficult to troubleshoot because you got to get your brain to process the order of operations and what is the router actually doing with the packets, you know? Is it a routing issue? Is it a NAT issue? Is it a link issue? Is it a, you know? Then you add on top of that that you're translating not only just one protocol, but you're translating between different protocols. Yeah, so what it's suggesting here is that this is basically like a last resort. You're generally going to want to do tunneling. Well, dual stack is generally the easiest, one of the easiest transition mechanisms, right? I can attest to that because that's what I'm using here at home. And everything is dual stack. And granted, I do get a lot of traffic that is IPv6, but I have not had to do any services, like I've not lost any service availability. Of course, it's the least desirable long term. Ideally, you want to be completely IPv6, but that's why these are called transition mechanisms, right? Because there's going to be a long transition for years. You know, hopefully it happened in my lifetime, may not, who knows. But yeah, this is so you would do ideally, you know, easiest is dual stack. Next would be tunneling scheme or schemes. Lastly would be some sort of NAT mechanism. That's at least the opinion that is expressed here in Network Lessons. Yeah, NAT64, you have a limited. It's interesting to read the forum replies. That's another benefit of signing up for Network Lessons because I've learned so many things just by glancing through because some of the questions I have, someone's already asked them in the forums, and you get an answer from Renee or someone else. There's very limited support for NAT64 on Cisco devices. I think it's not very useful outside of a lab. In practice, you need DNS entries for both the real and mapped addresses, which is more of a pain than running dual stack. And a reply here is, for the most part, you're correct. However, there are cases where it is necessary. Yeah, like when you take the lab exam. All right, folks, I want to do a little more reading, and I think that will probably wrap it up for at least the stream tonight. We got in about a good hour here, so I'm going to look at our agenda because I think there are a couple of links, and some of these I believe I shared already, but I just want to review them real quick in case you haven't seen them. and it may not have made it on yesterday's agenda. I cannot remember. One of them at least is one that was new. Yeah, this is just pure fun. And this was Banner MOTD. Posted this in our Discord for fun, deep space network status. If you're not familiar with the Deep Space Network, NASA's Deep Space Network, and the work that has been done on that, it has been mentioned in the yeah, it has been mentioned on one of the recent podcasts that I follow. But yeah, there's some cool stuff in here. Anyway, that's just nerdy stuff, but cool nevertheless. And then another link I had was, if you've done any work with the DevOps, Azure DevOps. This says DevOps. This really is Azure DevOps. They have a really cool feature where you can actually do a lot of your builds and your pipelines, your releases, your repos, and all that. You know, there's an API interface for it. First of all, this is a series of blogs, but this one in particular talks about they've switched to YAML now as the format where you can actually, you know, write configuration files to do this work in DevOps, which is cool. I need to learn more about how to do that. And then this is a review of the book that was posted earlier by Mark Milo. And this is from Anthony Segura about the review of the CCIE CCDE Evolving Technologies Guide. And apparently there are some exercises in there, which we'll be doing on stream. So good stuff, folks. Not really a lot of time to do any quizzes or flashcards today. But thanks so much for stopping by, folks. And we will see you back here tomorrow in the Land Tamer stream. And good bits, good labs, and see y'all tomorrow.